Hey guys, welcome back. Well, do you know how important goals are in our life? Well, we knowingly or unknowingly set goals for ourselves or make goals for ourselves. And knowingly and unknowingly we achieve that, right? But there is a difference between knowingly we are making a goal and unknowingly we are setting up a goal. Okay, so for example, when we wake up in the morning, we think of going to the washroom, freshening up, and then going to have make breakfast or have breakfast. So what is this? These are small goals, right? The plan which we have for the day, like I'm going to have go to the washroom, then I'll freshen up and I'll come and have breakfast, then I'll go out to office or school or college or for anywhere for that matter, or anything else we are going to do. So those are the plans which we have for the day. Those are small goals which we are going to achieve, right? We are going to eat our breakfast, that thing is achieved, right? That thing is done. So that is a small goal. So that is unknowingly we make, we have a planned goal for ourselves for every day and we do it repeatedly. So we don't know that we are setting up a goal for ourselves, right? Having breakfast, the goal is to be healthy, to get energy, for the rest of the day. So these are the small goals which we do, which we don't know, which is unknowingly we do it, right? And there's some goals which are knowingly we do, which are like, when we are studying, so we dedicate a time to study so that we can pass in our exams, we can get good number in our exams, or if there is an office work, we have to complete that work in that time frame, then we do that. So those are the small goals which we achieve, right? Which we make for ourselves. No, I have to pass the exam, I have to secure good marks in the exams, or I have to complete this task which is given by my manager or my team. So those are the small goals which we set, which is known as knowingly we set those goals and we have to achieve it because we are given that. Okay, and we don't have an option to opt out or opt in for it. Okay, so that is why it is called knowingly or unknowingly. So guys, today I'm going to talk about goals, like how goals are so important for us and why is it so important for us to have a realistic goal. And guys, trust me on this, we all go wrong in this. We all set wrong goals for us and that is why we are not able to achieve it, or it takes a lot of time to achieve it. So guys, I'm your communications coach and a soft skill trainer by profession, and I'm going to help you out with all your communication problems, and I'm going to help you out to speak English well or to communicate in English better every single day. So today's topic is goals. So I'm going to talk about how you can set your goals so that it will be easier for you to achieve your goal, and it will be easier for you to work on that goal and get it and achieve it at the earliest. How you can come up with a realistic goal for yourself, and so that you don't go wrong in the goal setting part. So I'm going to talk about what is a realistic goal, what is an unrealistic goal. I'm going to talk about short-term goals, mid-term goals and long-term goals, and I'm going to give you examples, and I'm going to give you how you can break it down to achieve your learning process. Or rather, we are talking about how to speak English fluently and confidently. So I'm going to tell you about what you should do in short-term, mid-term and long-term goals so that you achieve that, English speaking fluency and confidence at the earliest. Okay. So how do we divide our goals? So we divide our goals into short-term, mid-term and long-term goals. Now coming to the short-term goals is something which is for a short duration, right? Maybe a day or two or a week or a month, depending on what scale of what you have set, mindset you have come up with, or what time frame you have come up with to achieve that goal. Now, for example, if we set a goal like, I want to be a millionaire by 2024, I want to be a millionaire in 6 months. Is it possible? No. So this is called a unrealistic goal. For realistic goal, you can say, I want to be a millionaire. I'll try to achieve this in next 5 years or next 10 years. Okay, so that is a realistic goal. You may achieve it in a year or 2 years or 3 years. That depends on your efforts and your clarity of thoughts. But it's just that you have to set a realistic goal. So this is the difference between having a realistic goal and having an unrealistic goal. In English speaking also, if you think that oh, I'm going to speak in English in next 2 months, okay, or next 6 months, which is an unrealistic goal, because if you're starting from scratch, it takes time. You have other things also to do, so you do it simultaneously. You are not dedicating your whole time to English speaking, right? So that is why. And if you say, okay, next by the end of 2024 I'm going to learn to speak English, which is a realistic goal, and if you achieve it in 6 months, well and good, great, right? So you have to set a realistic goal first. Don't go wrong with your goal settings. Okay, now coming to the short-term goals. Short-term goals, as I said, is a small duration, like it may be a 1 day or 2 day or a week or 10 days or a month, depending on how you have planned your long-term goal or the target. Okay. Now here, to speak English or to learn to speak English, I have broken it down into some subsets, which is like, you can say that I'll dedicate a week to strengthen my vocabulary. So first thing you can do is setting a goal for vocabulary. Okay, so you can say 1 week I'm going to dedicate and I'm going to pick up some good vocabulary and learn those vocabularies. Now what you can do about it? You can read newspapers every day for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, okay, and jot down some vocabularies. And as I've told you, you can have a sticky note also. You can stick to your workstation or your study area and you can write those words with meanings, and you can stick to your work area, and then whenever you come, you can just have a look, and then you can just try to memorize it and repeat it every single day, so that you don't forget it, and make 1 or 2 sentences out of it, so that you learn that vocabulary, you memorize that vocabulary. Okay, so you can set up a goal that for a week I am going to dedicate 10 minutes every day to reading newspaper, reading a book, or reading an article, or listening to podcast, or anything, whatever you like, your movie or something, where you have to be very attentive and you have to just jot down all the vocabularies which you don't know, and you write the meaning, and you have to stick it on your workstation, and you have to revise it every single day. So this is a short term goal wherein you can achieve this goal in a week to cover up some vocabulary at least, or you can extend it for 10 days, whatever you wish. It's your wish. You can repeat it also after a month or 2 months, or every single month you can just repeat your short term goals. Okay, like this much vocabulary I have achieved, and next month I am going to start the same process again. Okay, so first is vocabulary. Second, you can come up with pronunciation. You'll say for 1 week I am going to focus on pronunciation. Okay, now how you'll focus on pronunciation? For every single day, 15 minutes, I am going to listen to something like a podcast or a movie or a sports commentary or a comedy show or a series or anything which is in English. Okay, anything which is in English, and I am going to pay attention to the pronunciation, how the words are pronounced. Okay, so you are going to pay attention to the pronunciation. So that is something which you have to focus on. So another week you can focus on pronunciation. That is also a short term goal. Coming to the third thing, which is intonation. Again the same thing. So you can just take a time, like for 10-15 minutes, when I'm listening to the pronunciation, I'm going to take care of intonation also. You can exclude pronunciation and intonation separately. Like 1 week you can focus on pronunciation, the other week you can focus on intonation. So that is a step ahead you are going in your English learning as well. Okay, so you'll focus on your intonation. Intonation is something which is how the words are pronounced, the ups, highs and lows of a word when you are speaking a sentence, what words to focus on and what words not to pay much attention to. Okay, or much emphasis on. So that is what intonation is. So you can pay attention to intonation for a week, so that when you speak, you can also speak in the same way. Okay, and when you are listening to people for intonation, you can practice also, repeat after them. That is the best way to practice intonation. Okay, so this is also a short term goal. For a week you can do this. Next comes grammar. Now this I won't suggest much, but of course there are some rules which really goes well, or you have to take care of, like the sentence structure, how the sentence is formed, like subject plus verb and an object, right? So this is a basic structure. Then there are other things also where has will go, have will go, or is will go, or was will go, or are will go. So those things, basic things you have to know. So I'm sure that you have learnt English in your classes, right? So it's just that you don't have the fluency to speak, but you know basic grammar, right? So that you can make sentences out of it. So you know that whichever part you feel difficulty, you can just go and just learn some grammar parts, so that it's easier for you to come up with a complete sentence, a right sentence, so that you don't have a difficulty in making sentences. So that part you can just pay attention to. So that is why grammar is also important. And if you are a beginner, you can ignore that. But when you are in the process of learning, you have to take care of those things as well. Okay, so you know how good you are in grammar, or how easily you are able to make sentences. If there is a difficulty in small things, where to use prepositions, where to use adverbs, where to use adjectives, then of course you go back and do a revision, which is also you can include in your short term goals. So for 1 week I'm going to read grammar. Okay, understand how sentences are constructed. That's it, not going deep into grammar. So these are your short term goals. You can dedicate 1 week each for 10-15 minutes, and you see what your progress is, and then you can move to your midterm goal. Now coming to your midterm goal, you can include listening. Now here also in short term goals you are paying attention to listening. Here also in midterm goal is also, midterm goal is something which is for a little longer period of time. Okay, so listening is very important in speaking, right? As I told you, listening and speaking goes hand in hand. So here also you have to take more time to listen to things. Okay, so you can start listening to a lot of other things also. You can listen to celebrities, you can listen to any eminent personalities, you can listen to any audio book, you can listen to any podcast, whatever you want to listen to, you can just listen to everything which is in English. So dedicate some more time to English listening, so that you grasp a lot of things, how the sentences are constructed, how the intonation, what kind of vocabulary is used, how they're speaking, how they're pronouncing words. So pay attention to all these things. So this has to be a midterm goal, so that you can listen properly with your open mind. Then after listening, you have to come up with some practice sessions also. As I told you, there are interesting things which I've already mentioned. You can do a vlog. When you listen to something, you can summarize it in your own words. Okay, you can do a jam session. Take any topic, pick any topic for that matter, whichever is there, like environment, pollution, weather, or cinema, Bollywood, Hollywood, sports, any topic for that matter, politics, anything which interests you. Take up the topic, speak for 1 minute, record yourself, or speak in front of the mirror. It's better to record yourself. So to do a jam session, do role plays. When you watch movies or serials, whichever character you like or whichever dialogue you like in Hindi you do, right? You repeat those dialogues for Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, or anybody, for Amitabh Bachchan. So you repeat those dialogues. Same way, when you listen to any dialogue which you find very interesting or good, you're impressed with that dialogue or impressed with that scene, you try to role play it. You try to do it again, repeat after them, or you can just pause it and then you can repeat it. In that way, you will also be able to learn a lot, how it is pronounced, how it is enacted, and the body language and everything. You can just replicate those. Okay, so this has to be a midterm goal, because this all will add to your long term goal, which is your achieving the target of learning to speak English. Okay, so this part is very important. Now, coming to the long term goal, you have to carry forward this short term goal to the short term, midterm goal to the long term goal. Now, what for long term goal, what you have to do is you have to start speaking one on one. Okay, you have to find a speaking partner, you have to find somebody whom you can speak to in English or talk to in English. Get hold of a friend who want to learn English, get hold of a colleague who want to learn English. You can talk to them over phone, over WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, chat with them in English. Or you can talk to your manager, you can talk to your team lead, or you can talk to your colleagues in English, or you can talk to your teachers or professors in English. Try to push yourself to talk to people in English, take an appointment in English, book a cinema ticket, order food in English, go to a restaurant and order food in English. So try to do small things where you have to communicate to somebody in English. Okay, so try to do that. Then the next level comes, you have to talk to people in groups, like 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. Start talking to your neighbors, start talking to your relatives and friends and everybody else. So take that initiative, break that ice and start talking to people, more and more people. So this will help you to achieve the final target, which is to speak English fluently and confidently. So all these steps will ultimately build your confidence, build your level of speaking, and build your fluency and confidence every single day. Okay, so this is how you have to set your goals. I have just given an example of what short-term goals should be like, what mid-term goals should be like, and what long-term goals should be like. Guys, please prepare accordingly, come up with a plan accordingly, and you will see the difference. See you next time. Bye-bye.